Welcome to Simply Creating Beauty, where we use the power of creation to empower by simply creating, through the fruits of the Spirit, a bridge between where you are and where you want to be. I want to start by giving a shout out to Rivical, that's the username on YouTube, a new young friend who is using the joy he finds in creating to guide me as I begin learning how to create, edit, and share these videos. Thank you, my friend. This is the first video in what I plan to be at least a 10-month series. Each month will have a Fruit of the Spirit theme, a title to go with it, an action verb of how it currently shows up in my life, then truths, analogies, and insights in how I apply that in my spiritual journey to find who He created me to be, and a challenge for those who are following. It is fitting that this series will come out and start on the birth date of my mom, who passed away 4.5 years ago, and on the birth month of my second mom, my mother-in-law. They have been and continue to be two of the biggest cheerleaders in my goals with Simply Creating Beauty. For this month's theme, the fruit of the Spirit is that of love. The title I have given this fruit is the connection that unites us. And the action verb, where it currently shows up in my life, is in finding. Finding love, connection, and unity through and with my family and family history, a passion I have developed with both of these incredible women. The challenge will be issued at the end of this video, or you can find it in the images that I will share later. As I said in my intro video on my Instagram page, what I share will be filtered through my faith and my experience. But I am truly interested and believe that there is truth to be found in the ways that all of God's children experience and find these in their beliefs and values. If you choose to follow along and have a different perspective to share on this fruit of the Spirit, or a quote or verse that ties into it from your faith, please share your related thoughts and help us to broaden and unite this topic. For reference, I am a Christian and a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I will be using the King James Version of the Bible for any biblical quotes I share. I will admit that while this fruit has been on my mind a lot the last month, it is one chapter from my in-process book that is still being lived to completion and isn't solidified yet. But it has been a month of priceless flex and nuggets, and some of those I look forward to sharing with you. Now, let's first lay a scriptural foundation for where, in the framework of my faith, I will be focusing on love. This is found in 1 John chapter 4, verses 7 through 11, and it reads like this: Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. In this was manifested the love of God towards us, because that God sent His only begotten Son into the world that we might live through Him. Herein is love, not that we loved God, but that He loved us and sent His Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another. I love how this section is a sandwich of directing us to love one another. Our focus on love isn't romantic. This isn't February, and even if it was, that's not where these are lining up. Rather, like it says in verse 8, God is love. And that love was made manifest in a sacrifice made in order to redeem us, bridging the gap between justice and mercy. This is the filling of the love one another sandwich that unites us and connects us all. My husband and children will tell you, I like my feelings. I'm a very deeply feeling person, and I like my feelings. Both spellings. My woodworking analogy for this month is one of 2 parts. However, we will only be covering the second part for now. I've debated how to briefly cover the first half only as needed for you to be able to understand the piece for this month. So hopefully you are able to follow this. The first half involves the strength of connection made in creating something out of wood, using different types of wood joints and hardware involved, and what purpose those play depending on what you are creating. Or largely, so how do we unify or connect 2 pieces together that creates that bond? Later, I came across a video on my YouTube feed that I unfortunately didn't save and can't find again, with how many more have been made since then on the topic. Otherwise, I would link you to it. But the person in the video was doing an experiment testing wood joints with glue and without. And in the experiment, it demonstrated that the one that survives best is the one with glue. Now, a little disclaimer here for all my science-minded friends and family: glues vary, and other factors vary. So ignore the imperfect experiment guidelines here to get to my point, while imagining divinely perfect results every time. He then went on to test what it takes before the ones with glue break. And this is where my mind began to apply glue, or should I say the strength of love in bonding and uniting us, to the connection in a relationship between 2 people. And I got the chills. The glue in his experiment never broke. It was the wood that broke first in each attempt. The glue that truly unifies the 2 pieces was unbreakable, it seemed. Or should I say, the connection that truly unifies us is unconditional love. Different faiths may define that conditional love in other ways. But for me, the example of how to show genuine, unconditional love is found in Jesus Christ. I have a lot more I could say on this month's topic and where those examples show up, but in an effort to be a bit more concise, which is not my strength, and this is already long, let me share just one final thought about family before issuing this month's challenge. This is not an original thought, but was shared in the Inklings podcast by Emily Bell Freeman on the Talk on Families by Dallin H. Oaks. The topic I want to share is the way family is defined. We live in a fallen, divided, chaotic world. And I love how she used the show Survivor to aid us in how society and our world today seems to define tribe or family. Yes, those in a tribe on that show are all working together, but they are not working together for the benefit of all. They are united in the goal of winning the challenges, but only so far as it benefits the individual in their goal to beat everyone else and win. Only one stands strong at the end. In comparison, she shared And I also believe we are all God's children, and He wants us all to choose to stand with Him together at the end. So our goal as a family becomes looking out for each other, lifting each other, loving each other. It becomes about unity and connection in order to get there and bring as many home with us on the journey as choose to come. With this in mind, this month's challenge is twofold. First, seek and find the role that unconditional love and unity and connection of the broader definition of family have in your life and in your spiritual journey. And two, write down the moments you find of true connection and unity with your fellow human beings, where looking out for each other, lifting and loving each other is evident. If you want to share these moments with us, please come back and share. Or if you want to share more personally, you can reach me, April Dawn, at simplycreatingbeauty@gmail.com. Now, go and see where you can simply create beauty. Oh, there we go. Yep, there we go. Okay.